Hi everyone, Radical Gardener. Well, and of course my bird solo. Um, phase two here today. I wanted to make a couple of videos today and a couple tomorrow because I go in for dental surgery on Wednesday. I'm just going to be down for the count. And boy, does my hair look bright red under this light, and it makes my skin look blotchy, which it's not. So there you go. It's why I'm not in Hollywood. Okay. So anyways, what am I doing here today? Well, I am taking all those herbs that I dried in paper bags, right? And I did that in October and November. And I put in paper bags, and now I'm pulling them out to put them in mason jars. And I've cleared a shelf, if you can believe it. I actually reorganized something, so I actually had some space. And I'm putting it in jars like this. This is my time. It smells like heaven. This is the best way to dry your herbs is in these bags. You will not lose the aroma, the intensity of the herb. So trust me on that one because I used to do it many different ways, and this is the way to go. And then I have my labels here. You can get them at the hardware store. We have, come in a roll. And I'll go ahead and mark this. And like I said, this is thyme. And now I have it marked. And I can add thyme, every time I dry it. So there we go. So now I've got a jar of fresh thyme. Wonderful, huh? And it's, there's some branches in it now, but who cares? I mean, I just clean it as I use it, and I like it. It's pretty rustic looking, and don't we love mason jars? They're good for everything, aren't they? It's like duct tape and mason jars. Okay, all right, so I'm pulling out my sage now, and seeing how that came out. Wow, there's a lot of it. And of course, this is how it looks. It's all gnarly. There it is, see? And so I'm just going to top the bag here, and then what I do is I have my, from canning, and I put it in my jar, and it's a lot easier to get it in the jar that way. And then I just take my fingers, and I just pull them down the branch, and it goes right into my jar, and little branches in there. Oh, it's heaven. It's just heaven. I mean, it really keeps that smell that we want. And so there we go. I'm just cleaning off my branches. And so I think I probably have about 30 bags back there, but it doesn't take very long. I wanted to Hi everyone. It's the next day. You're going to see the first part of this video. I had started yesterday, and then I'm finishing it up today. I just not enough hours in the day, honest to God. I'm really trying to get it all done. Let's see. So we were talking about me putting the herbs in the jars, and I'm going to stay with that and then do a separate video about the stove. I found out a lot more about the stove that we're going to purchase, how we're going to go about that. One of the things I'm going to do with these herbs, and these are the ones that I'm growing in my yard, is as I plant and dry these herbs, and even when I buy them, is I'm trying to really educate myself. I'm not trying, I am educating myself in what can those herbs be used for, and what is going to be the best way for me to keep track of that as I dry them and I have them in my cupboard and time goes by. How am I going to remember what's good for what? And so one of the things I've come up with is I'm just going to write on the top of the I'm using mason jars, and write on the lids on top what they can be used for. I'm interested in using my herbs as teas, and I know you can make poultices and you can do a lot of different things with them, but I'm interested in doing as teas. I'm a big tea drinker, and so that just really makes sense for me. So I did look up some of the herbs that I have already put in jars, and then I'm going to go over and show you how I finished that up, and
it just worked out really well. I'm really pleased with my whole process, and yeah, I've seen how I can save some time, and so I'll share that all with you. So one of the herbs that I've pennyroyal. Pennyroyal is a really controversial herb. It's reportedly was used to encourage miscarriages. It's a very potent herb, but from everything that I read, if you use it in like a tea mix with some other herbs, and really as a tea, it's not as potent as, say, using it as an essential oil. But it does have health benefits, and it says as an oil, it should never be taken internally. Milder variants such as pennyroyal tea are not considered to be as dangerous. So I'm going down here. It's an herbaceous plant belonging to the is it Levitae family, and well, that's what I think it is. The herb thrives in damp areas and is a native of Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. It's also commonly known by a number of other names, including mosquito plant, pudding grass, and squaw mint. When crushed, the herb gives off a very strong aroma that smells like spearmint. It was traditionally used as a culinary herb, so that is a way that it can be used. And really as a folk medicine, the essential oil made with pennyroyal is still used by aromatherapists for topical application, but I've also been reading that can even cause some dermatitis. It's very potent. It's like oregano oil. You put oregano oil directly on your skin, you better have a carrier oil, unless you put the oregano oil directly onto, say, the mole or what have you. Yeah, it might be a little bit, a little dicey there. I've burned my skin with oregano oil. So the pennyroyal tea, here it's been used, and it dates back all the way to the ancient Greeks, the Roman Empire, to flavor wine, used alongside the oregano and coriander. So used for flavor for puddings. And it's very rarely used as a culinary herb now. I can't imagine that a little bit of it mixed with your oregano would be a problem. But what it really is good for is just to keep you regular. It's a great kind of diuretic. So that's why people still use it. And it's great for treating stomach upset, flatulence, and cramping. So the dried leaves of the plant are used to treat colds and flu and help induce sweating, and have also been used to treat serious conditions like tuberculosis and smallpox. Almost sounds like you can use this homeopathically. It used to be used to induce an abortion. However, the large doses that are needed to cause abortion have also proven to be fatal for the women, so we do not recommend that. And hey, you can just go to New York now, whatever. The potential uses and benefits of pennyroyal, and it just talks about all this. I'm going to leave the link below, but there's respiration, so I have it, and I'll use it if I need to. I use so many different things for the the illnesses and some of the things that they're talking about there, that I don't really have to, but I really want to have that knowledge about all herbs, and you never know, right? You just never know. The next one I have is Melissa, which is also known as lemon balm oil. It's used in traditional medicine to treat a number of health concerns, including insomnia, anxiety, migraines, hypertension, diabetes, herpes, and dementia. Really at C60, I don't get anything. So, but again, I want the knowledge of the herbs. You never know. Then this is a great herb for anti-inflammatory. So, and helps to prevent and treats infections. So this is a great one to have on hand and make a really great tea. It's really got a great scent. The next one that I have, which you guys probably know all about because you're so smart, is I have the hyssop. This is a wonderful herb. I think, isn't hyssop in the lavender family? Perennial plant. Mint family. It's in the mint family. Oh, it is. Other well-known plants in this family: peppermint, basil, sage, lavender, thyme, and catnip. Okay, so I was right about that. All right, so like all members of the mint family, hyssop has a slender square stem with opposite position leaves and can reach heights of up to 2 feet. I love growing this stuff. So what is it used for besides just being really pretty? Today it's known let's see, to do antibacterial, antiviral, and other beneficial properties, common cold, bronchitis, asthma. Okay, so it's a beautiful plant. Boy, did it dry beautifully. All right, so that this doesn't get too long, I'm going to go over to my kitchen here, and I'm going to turn this around and show you what I did. It's all finished. So I moved some pots off here, and then you can see I have really what are my garden herbs. And I have here like a Lazy Susan. So this is under the sink. And I have some of the little bags that I put after my herbs have dried in the big bags, because they don't dry well in the small bags. They don't have enough air to circulate. That's all my hot pepper stuff, so I've got that back in those bags. But you can get so much into one jar. So 3 of those coffee bags will go into one jar. So just for, storing purposes, this is really a smart way to go. Plus it keeps everything really fresh. Isn't that great? So I'm really pleased with that. Yeah. So, done with that project. All the herbs are in. I'm so excited. Let me just turn this back around. Here we go. So that's all cleared out from the garage. And I'm going to tell you, those greens, they smell amazing. I'm so pleased how that came out. So remember, drying your herbs in the large bags, just throw them in there, clip the bag shut, leave it for a couple of weeks. I left it for a little longer than that, maybe a month. And then you pull it out, it's completely dry, and then you can just put it in your mason jars. Make sure they're clean, tighten it up, write what that's good for, if it's going to be a medicinal herb, and you're all good to go, right? Okay, so next video is all about the stove. I found out a lot more about that darn stove. So yeah, and it's a good choice. So Radical Gardener, from my garden to yours. May your garden always grow. I'm sending you a ton of love. Okay, see you later. Bye.